Hello, and welcome to this week's Business Success Fertilizer application. Last week, we talked about what a good tagline should look like. This week, we're going to talk about how to actually create that tagline. Quite often, your tagline is going to be the first connection you'll make with a new customer. We've been told again and again that you need to make a first good impression. According to an article in Forbes, in a business setting, the potential new client's first impression of you or your business will be formed in just 7 seconds. There are lots of ways to cement that first impression, from what you wear to the language you use. But for the purpose of this week's fertilizer application, we'll be focusing on your tagline. Creating a tagline may come in a sudden burst of inspiration, or it can be the result of a long, challenging process. However, it comes about, your tagline must be obsequious to your brand. If it doesn't relate to and mimic your brand identity, it won't work. For those of us without the proverbial light bulb moment, let's see how we might go about creating our tagline. First things first, know your brand. As expressed in a Column 5 media article by Josh Ritchie, your brand is more than a logo. It is, or it should be, an emotional experience that is strengthened or weakened through every interaction that someone has with your business. I think one of the most interesting things that Mr. Ritchie has to say is that your brand should be defined as what people think and say about your business. Now, this differs from marketing, which is what you say about your business. Or to quote Jeff Bezos, soon to be ex CEO of Amazon, your brand is what other people say about your business when you're not in the room. So once you know your brand and how people perceive your business, write a paragraph that explains who you are and what you do. Now, I understand, yes, a paragraph is a far cry from a tagline, but it's where you'll be identifying the emotional touch points that are associated with your business. Once you've composed your brand paragraph, go through it and pick out the emotional words that came to mind when you were writing it. If you don't find any, go back and try again. Put yourself in the mind of your customer and what you think they're feeling when they choose your product or service. The next step is to compress these emotional touch points into a single sentence or two, but shoot for one. When you're condensing your paragraph into your sentence, focus on likability. What is it that people like about your business? While you're looking at likability, be sure that the words you're using are capable of conveying emotion. As expressed by Katie French in How to Write a Great Tagline, a compelling tagline needs an emotional hook, which is directly related to the brand benefit. Even if it isn't a specific statement of benefit, a tagline should stir an emotion that communicates a benefit without explicitly stating it. She goes on to say, think of easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. The tagline uses imagery rich, emotional language to communicate a feeling. Now, some of the best lines or best taglines tell a story. Here's one that tells the story in 5 words. Can you hear me now? Who hasn't been the lead player in that story? It's something we can all immediately relate to. Other taglines are so unexpected that it makes the person hearing it want to know more. I suggested a tagline for someone who sells non toxic home cleaning products. I help you get out of toxic relationships. It's clever, and it makes the person put themselves in their own personal story, wondering just what it is they're using. Benefit driven taglines, such as Bounty, the quicker picker upper, can be used to convince your customer that life is going to be easier with your product. You may be thinking, well, all of that seems like a tall order for a single sentence. And you would be right. If it wasn't hard, everyone would have a great tagline. Also, don't get too hung up on length. There's some great taglines that are pretty long. How about Federal Expresses when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight? Just remember that your tagline should be likable, express or generate an emotion, portray imagery, and be memorable. So, know your brand, write your paragraph, condense it down into a single sentence or two, tweak it so it embodies the characteristics that we've identified as essential, and you've got yourself a great tagline. So, I hope that helps. And hopefully, I'll see you all again next week. Until then, see you later.